Jack Elam, the legendary actor with the wild-eyed stare, was one of the most recognizable faces in Western films and television. Born in 1920, Jack built a long and respected career by playing villains, outlaws, and quirky side characters in countless productions. His screen presence was unforgettable, often turning minor roles into fan favorites. But behind the scenes, Jack had his own struggles and conflicts, and there was one man in Hollywood whom he openly admitted to disliking more than anyone else. Despite being easygoing with most of his co-stars and directors, his hatred for Burt Kennedy, a writer and director of Westerns, became one of the most talked-about tensions in the industry. Elam had always been known for his professionalism. He was reliable, quick-witted, and even willing to laugh at himself. However, when it came to Burt Kennedy, their relationship was filled with animosity. Burt Kennedy had a strong personality and a very controlling way of directing. He often wanted everything done his way, leaving little room for improvisation or collaboration. For someone like Jack Elam, who loved to bring his own creative touches to characters, this became a serious problem. What started as small disagreements on set eventually turned into open hostility. The two men first clashed during the production of a Western in the late 1960s. Kennedy was determined to portray Jack's character in a way that stripped him of the comedic and eccentric flair audiences had come to love. Elam resisted, believing the role would come off flat and lifeless. Their arguments grew heated, with Elam accusing Kennedy of not understanding actors, and Kennedy accusing Elam of being difficult. From then on, their working relationship was fractured beyond repair. Friends and colleagues of Jack Elam later revealed that he rarely spoke harshly about anyone, but Kennedy was an exception. Jack felt Kennedy had no respect for actors who weren't headliners, treating supporting cast as if they were disposable. For someone like Elam, who had worked hard to rise from tiny bit parts to respected character roles, this attitude felt insulting. Over time, his dislike of Kennedy deepened into genuine hatred. Despite their personal feud, Jack continued to thrive in Hollywood. He worked with major stars like John Wayne, Clint Eastwood, and James Garner, and directors who appreciated his talents. Audiences adored his ability to play both ruthless villains and lovable oddballs, and his reputation as a scene stealer remained intact. Meanwhile, his opinion of Burt Kennedy never softened. Even in interviews later in life, when asked about directors he admired, Jack would avoid mentioning Kennedy's name, though he would, sometimes make veiled remarks about directors who thought they knew it all but didn't know a thing about actors. Everyone knew exactly who he was referring to. Elam's hatred wasn't about petty jealousy or competition. Rather, it stemmed from a deep sense of pride in his craft. He had built his career on hard work, creativity, and respect for storytelling. When Kennedy dismissed his ideas and tried to control every detail, Elam felt undermined. That wound never healed. While Jack maintained warm friendships with dozens of actors, directors, and producers, his feud with Kennedy stood out as the one relationship in Hollywood he could never mend. By the time Jack Elam passed away in 2003, he had left behind a legacy of over 200 roles, each marked by his distinctive style and unforgettable presence. Yet those who knew him well often recalled that, for all his humor and charm, there was one name that could still make him scowl: Burt Kennedy. In an industry where grudges often fade with time, Jack Elam's hatred of Kennedy remained fierce, proving that even the most beloved stars carried their share of bitterness.